In SharePoint, the interface that you use to work with files, right here, new, upload, sync, and so on, is the same here in a library as what you're going to see when we go to OneDrive. Let's go to the App Launcher and choose OneDrive to drop into OneDrive for Business. Notice, new, upload, sync. If I choose new, same choices, so very consistent. Except in OneDrive, I have a choice of an Excel survey as well as the document types and folders. In OneDrive, by default, anything I save here is private unless I put it into the folder that's called Shared with Everyone, or I create a folder that I want to share with others. I have some built-in views here that are great. A files view, a view of files I've worked with recently. I had lots of them. A view of files that have been shared with me by other people, perhaps. And then a recycle bin. I've deleted some things, so I've got a few things kicking around in the recycle bin. But if I go back to my files view, this is what it looks like in a classic view. I can also click the icon here to change my view. There's my classic details view. Here's a view that's tiles. Same thing though. I have the ability to sort. This is sorted by name in ascending order. I can also sort by when it was modified and by whom. If I'd like to upload a document, this is going to seem, again, very familiar. I can click here to upload and choose documents. For example, the Bernal Heights montage, I could upload on its way. There we go. And here's the menu. That should, again, seem very familiar because when I select a file, notice that I have choices. Now I can share, download, delete. I can move this within the document. So if I want to move this to shared with everyone, notice that I can choose that and click move. There it goes. But I would have had the other way I'm used to sharing things as well, which is just to use drag and drop. So if I move it back to files, and we go back to files following my breadcrumbs, just click the files link, and I want to move this into shared with everyone. There we go. Works exactly the same way. I can search. So if I'm looking for a montage or Bernal, and you might wonder, why is that not showing up? Didn't we just see that file? And in fact, we did. However, if search was constantly crawling through all of the different folders and libraries, that would take up so much of the resource of SharePoint that there's usually a scheduled job. And in this case, on our server, it's crawled every hour. So the longest I would have to wait to be able to find a document would be an hour. The good news is I don't normally save a document and then say, oh, let me search for it. Searching tends to be something we do later on. A typical setting for how long you will wait until something's findable ranges from 20 minutes to 60 minutes is fairly normal. Sharing is a little different here. If I have a document, for example, this TED Talks to watch, right now it's shared with everyone. I want to do something different with this. So I'm going to move this back to the files. There we go. And now let's select this and click share. Notice that I have the ability to get a link. And if I do get a link, it's something that I can copy. If I remove the link, then it doesn't exist any longer. I can invite people and I can see who it's shared with. Right now it's not shared with anyone. Seems similar, but a couple of choices. One, I can invite people, but then I can require that they have to sign in if they would like to be able to access this document. And I am normally going to do that. And I can choose that they can edit the document or they can view the document. If I wish to delete documents, I can select the documents, and here's my trash can right here. And the other choices I have, the ability to copy, the ability to rename a document, or look at its version history. With a document selected, I have the ability to open it in Word Online or open it in Word just as if it were sitting in a library in SharePoint. Works exactly the same way. I can also utilize Office 365 groups to determine how I would like to share a document. So I can create a group and share documents with them. I can browse the groups that already exist from Office 365. If I click on Browse Groups, I'll actually be taken to look at my groups in Outlook. And we'll talk more about groups at one point later in this course. When I'm done working with OneDrive and wish to return to SharePoint, I can click the App Launcher or the waffle and go to Sites, and working through Sites, return my way back to Teamland and SF.